that assist the Nigerian government with ideas, suggestions, and recommendations from the private sector.
Since you arrived, you have been quite busy, being up and down. You came to fight for investment to go to Nigeria. You have a forum called HIIC, Honorary International Investor Forum Council, that a collection of people who made it from across the globe, who meet here or somewhere outside Nigeria once a year and every 6 months in Nigeria to advise us on what to do. They see things maybe that we don't see in our operations at home, and they keep advising us, and things are becoming better. I was an observer at the meeting throughout, and I realized that Nigeria has come of age. Nigeria is doing very well in terms of investment. In fact, from the statistics shown, Nigeria will be among the 20 largest economies before the year 2020. And you should note that in your diary, because it will happen in our time. When the idea came, we thought it's not going to be possible, but it is happening. They came here not because of the High Commissioner, but because of Nigeria and because of you, Mr. Vice President. They came to see you, to interact with you, and they are doing very well. They cooperate with us. Only recently, our Minister of Foreign Affairs felt that Nigerian High Commission in London is doing well. He says it, he feels proud. We are not able to do that, except, of course, with his support as our minister. We have asked for things, he has given us, we have not wasted those things. We have put them into use. And London has become the envy of the other High Commission. Your Excellency, as you have heard, we have more than 2 million Nigerians in the UK. Now, when we arrived here, thank God the High Commissioner who was before me started doing something good, but he didn't finish. That's Ambassador Christopher Collade. He created Kanuk because Nigerians in Nido were fighting themselves. And of course, then we came, we nurture the Nido that were there, and they are also doing very well now. And also, he created Council of Elders that will give advice to us. And we have sought for their advice in every step we wanted to take in that High Commission. They would come, they sit with us, they would tell us what people were saying. They want this. People are saying, you are selling passports, you are selling visa. They say so, and so on. And we took that into consideration. Today, our system for the issuance of passport and visa is the best. And I was then in Nigeria. I wish I could accompany Mr. Vice President, but when he went back, he said he enjoyed your hospitality. Now, this is the second time, and I believe he will enjoy his stay here. He's already enjoying. So, Your Excellency, we thank you for coming. These are your compatriots. They could die for Nigeria, I assure you. But when I came here, Minister Aganga was here. He was one of those who were going around telling me, look, you need to do more, Your Excellency, you need to do more. He visited my office once or twice, and he dragged me out to a meeting in the night. I didn't come back to my house until very midnight in the High Commission. If you have any problem, I repeat, any problem with what we do there, write or call me. I assure you, we'll solve your problem. But except one thing, we do not have money to give.
Our president's younger brother, Chief Mini Jonathan, who died recently after a brief illness. May his soul rest in peace. On a happier note, we'd like to seize this opportunity to congratulate Your Excellency on the news concerning the prospects of the Nigerian economy and the great things coming out of Nigeria. I was at an event with the Minister of Information yesterday where he reeled out a lot of new things happening in Nigeria, which people don't know about. Generally, a lot of people feel that what is going on in Nigeria is just about bombings, about terrible stories. But indeed, good things are happening from Nigeria, and we're very proud. We are equally very proud that some of the people who are pulling the strings in Nigeria today were themselves from the diaspora. And we feel really, really fulfilled that those who are adding value to the government of this present government, some of them actually lived in the United Kingdom, and they've made us very, very proud.
The High Commissioner is right that this is one of the events that I enjoy, meeting my brothers and sisters. This afternoon, in the Honorary International Investors Council meeting, which is a council that assists the Nigerian government with ideas and suggestions and recommendations from the private sector. And this is part of the mechanism that we have developed for the achievement of the noble objective to transform Nigeria into one of the best economies in the world. When we were campaigning in 2011, and one of the things I tell Nigerians was that at this instance we are lucky that we are going to have a president, and we have a president today who definitely is a scientist. He has all the experiences as a former teacher, a lecturer, a deputy governor, a governor, acting president, vice president, and now a president. And myself as an architect, that this combination of an architect and a scientist will combine to develop, we will design the country, develop it, and ensure that we achieve the objective of making Nigeria one of the most developed countries in the world. So, and the key aspect of it is that Mr. President promised Nigerians that this time around in 2011, there will be a free and fair election in Nigeria. And you will agree with me, for the first time, we have the freest and fair election in Nigeria. That is very important because it gives the solid foundation for proper democracy in a country, because we have a mandate of the majority of Nigerians, true mandate of the majority of Nigerians. And so therefore, Mr. President is keeping to those promises. So I will seize the opportunity to brief you on some of the successes and actions that we are taking in Nigeria today. In the aspect of Nigeria's economic growth, it is delighting to note that the gross domestic product, GDP, has grown to 7.1% on average. This is a situation where many countries in the world today are about zero level of GDP growth. Inflation has dropped from 12.9% in June 2012 to 11.7% in August. And our goal is to reduce it further down. The foreign reserve has grown from about 32 billion the same period last year to about 45 billion today. Nigeria has now been included in the JP Morgan Emerging Market Bond Index, which is signifying increasing investor confidence in our economy. And we were just briefed that the Barclays Bond Index, Nigeria will be included in it also. So the World Economic Forum has also upgraded our ranking from 127 position to 115 in Global Competitiveness Index. The fiscal consolidation policy has helped to strengthen our finances with a programmed budget deficit of about 2.85% of GDP in 2012 from 2.9%. And now is projected to drop to 2.17% in 2003. Now, the climate, investment climate in Nigeria. Our investment climate reform program has helped to attract over 6.8 trillion naira local and foreign direct investment commitments in recent times. This is for the first time in the history of the country. Nigeria has become the preferred destination for investment in Africa. It is ranked first in the top 5 host economies for foreign direct investment in Africa, accounting for over 20% of the total foreign direct investment flow into the continent. We have achieved 7 days timeline, and in some areas 24 hours timeline for registration of new businesses, leading to registration of close to up to 7,000 companies within the second quarter of 2012. So doing business is being improved. We have drastically reduced the goods clearing period in our ports from about 6 weeks to about a week. In the area of job creation, deliberate steps are being taken to address the cost of doing business so that there will be more job opportunities. Several government programs and projects are creating wealth and millions of jobs opportunities for our youth, and such programs include what we call in Nigeria, You Win. It's a program that is done through the web, and youth and women are given opportunity to apply online and get government support of between 3 to 10 million naira if you put your business proposal and it is checked by independent consultants and found to be eligible. Thousands of youths are benefiting from this program, and we have a special program for women only. As you know, this administration is gender responsive. Government has also kicked off an industrial revolution plan that will strategically position and empower the nation's manufacturing sector as key driver for economic growth through job creation and increased contribution to GDP. Progress on addressing major infrastructural programs, items that are militating against our growth, are being implemented. Some of the major issues that resist growth in our country, as you know, is the issue of power, transport sector, agriculture, education, health, and the issue of corruption, as well as security. In the area of power supply, I am pleased to inform you that we have had tremendous progress. When we came in as an administration, we were at about 2,500 level of the 2,500 megawatt level of power generation. As I speak, we are generating over 5,000 megawatts. And we are putting into the system about 4,300 megawatts. So with this progress, it is clear in the country, all over the country, there is clear evidence of success in that direction. How this is being achieved is that, one, we are addressing all the sector's value chain of power. We are adding and increasing the power generation. I think the last time I met, I did inform you that we are constructing 10 new thermal power plants. And I'm pleased to inform you that some of these plants, almost 3 of them, are fully completed and are already injecting power into our national grid. 2013, we will have the private sector up and running our power generation and distribution. We have also instituted the institutional framework. We have the National Electricity Regulatory Commission working. We have the gas aggregator company working. We have the bulk trader that's in charge of the sales ready. And we have appointed the Manitoba Hydro that will assist in supporting the management of our transmission system in the country. In addition to that, we are also looking at other sources of power generation. The contract for the construction of Zingiru hydropower plant, which is located in Niger State, has been awarded just recently. And that project will provide 700 megawatts of hydro and will provide 30,000 hectares of land for irrigation. contract for the Mambila Hydro, which is a large hydro that will provide 3,050 megawatts. Designs and tender documents have been completed, and contractors are bidding for that work. We plan that by the first quarter of 2013, the contract will be awarded. Also, the design for the Gurara Phase 2 hydropower plant that will give about 350 megawatts have been completed, and several other small and medium hydropower will be provided in our existing dams in the country, which we have over 200 small and medium dams that can carry hydropower. And we intend to also provide the irrigation schemes. And by doing that, we will be creating economic corridors that will provide the necessary infrastructure for agricultural development. In addition to hydropower, we are also introducing now in Nigeria projects that will convert coal to power. We have identified Enugu State. Plans are reaching advanced stage for the construction of 1,000 megawatts coal power plant. Also, there are plans to have coal power plant in Benue State, in Kogi State, and in Gombe State. Also working with Siemens, during the last visit of Mr. President to Germany, there was a memorandum of understanding that was signed with Siemens and other solar manufacturers. And I'm pleased to inform you that many states have now signed agreement and have commenced the establishment of mega solar power plants, like in Bauchi, in Katsina, and many other states that are buying into that program. It's a public-private partnership project. So with this, we are meeting our plan to address the deficiency in the power sector successfully. The other sector that government must contribute and address so that it will unleash the opportunities for growth, for economic growth, is the transport sector. In the transport sector, we are addressing the issue of roads. And we have selected all the major arteries from Lagos to Calabar, which includes the Shagamu, etc. Work is at advanced stage on these projects, from Abuja to Kogi State. And then the contract from Kogi to Benin have just been awarded about 2 weeks ago. And then, as you know, from Abuja to Kaduna to Kano is an expressway. Then there is a new expressway from Kano, Jigawa, Yobe up to Maiduguri. So the whole rib of the country, we are building this road. And then the second Niger bridge at Onitsha, the designs have been completed and tenders are being completed under a PPP program. So this bridge, we believe by the second quarter of 2013, work will commence on that bridge. The other area of interest and necessity for economic growth is the issue of railway service. And I'm pleased to inform you that for over 30 to 40 years, our existing railway system has been abandoned. And this administration awarded contracts for the rehabilitation of the existing railway lines. And the Lagos-Kano line is almost completed. And by the first quarter 2013, we will see trains flying from Kano to Lagos. Work is going on the eastern wing from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, and we are expecting that by the end of 2013, that project will be completed. Then there are new railway projects. There is the new fast train double line Lagos-Ibadan railway line. That contract has been awarded and work is commencing very soon on that line. We also have the new railway line that is connecting Kaduna and Abuja. That work is in progress and the project is about 50% completion. The central railway line from Warri Port in Delta State to Ajakuta has been completed. And designs are being prepared so that we will connect from Ajakuta to Abuja, so that we have the Kano, Lagos in the western wing, we have the central wing from Kaduna to Warri Port, then we have from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, and there will be the crisscrossing line which will connect the areas that we are unleashing on mining. As you know, the large deposit of minerals in Kogi State from the Abajana cement plant will connect to Benue and connect the other eastern line and western lines. So we'll have crisscrossing lines. So in addition to this, we are also bringing back the waterways in the country. The dredging of River Niger has been completed. The port at Onitsha has been commissioned. The port in Lokoja in Kogi State is being constructed. And the last port at Baro in Niger State is also being completed. And the railway line, which was there during the colonial time because boats used to carry goods up to Baro during the colonial period. So it's something that was existing that we are bringing back as a solution to transportation system for economic development. So that railway line is also being redesigned now for reconstruction so that that port will be connected to a railway line, and the Lokoja port, the central line from Ajakuta to Abuja, will carry that railway line in that area. So all the ports, the river ports, will have both connections with roads and rail lines. Then we are also addressing the issue of our ports. As you well know, all our ports are very old now. The capacity is low. The design capacity has been overshot by demand. And as such, we are upgrading the existing ports, and we are building new deep sea ports, one in Lagos and the other one in Akwa Ibom State. And then we are upgrading the Calabar port. On aviation, we are also upgrading the aviation status, providing all the necessary requirements. We are building new terminals in Lagos, in Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Kano airports. And we are putting 11 new cargo terminals in 11 airports in the country, which will support exportation by air of perishable goods, by agricultural goods in the country. Then the other area of economic concern is the petroleum sector. As you know, the PIB is with the National Assembly and work is in progress. And the deregulation aspect, you know the position of government, and we are doing everything to sanitize the position as well as improving the refineries in the country. The issue of crude oil theft is also being addressed with the urgency that it deserves. Agriculture, today we are considering agricultural development as a business, not as a program. For the last 40 years, under the World Bank and other international financing agencies, we have been looking at agriculture as a program. And by that, we have not seen any progress. Nigeria has the worst yield per hectare today in the whole of Africa. In Benin Republic, farmers produce between 8 to 12 hectares of grains per hectare. We are still at 1 point something per hectare. This cannot continue. The only solution is now we have a robust Minister of Agriculture who has turned around many other African countries. And I want to assure you, we are doing everything. We are taking all the value chains of agriculture, and we are already seeing positive development in that direction. Our goal is to add 20 million metric tons of food to our domestic food supply by 2015 and create 3.5 million jobs. So far, we have succeeded in attracting $7.8 billion investment commitment to the agricultural sector. And this investment and the value chain approach being used to transform the sector has capacity to create 3.5 million jobs in the medium term by 2015. Achieving self-sufficiency in rice production in 2015 remains our target, because our bill for importation of food, rice, wheat, fish, sugar is about $10 billion annually. This should be produced locally. We do provide incentives to support cassava value chain, including zero duty on machineries and equipment to process high-quality cassava flour. Cassava breading is commercially available with 20% cassava flour. The appropriate infrastructure to support all year-round farming through irrigation is being rehabilitated and developed across the country, as I've already told you. I will be providing power to each economic corridor of agricultural development. I can go on and on and on what we are doing, but I must say in summary also, we are unleashing and opening the mining sector. We have huge deposits of gold, manganese, iron ore, coal, just name it, just waiting to be tapped. The framework has been developed by the minister in conjunction with experts from Canada, Australia, and all worldwide expertise, and we have a document now that investors can come and use and get the opportunity to do business in that direction. As I said earlier, doing business is improved. Land reforms are being done. Tax incentives, etc., are also being done. But of greater importance is that we are addressing the issue of corruption. We have zero tolerance for corruption. Corruption must be removed out of our country. Corruption at every aspect, not only the issue of stealing money, but even the way of character and behavior. The corrupt way of doing things. Somebody was mentioning in our meeting that issue of is who you know. It's frightening people up to now. I want to use this opportunity to tell you that there is no issue of who you know anymore in Nigeria. A good example is this privatization we just concluded. I want to assure you, you can meet any one of those that have won this bid. Nobody has met anybody. They put their bid. It was analyzed. In the analysis room, we have SSS, we have EFCC, we have every organization there to ensure. We have even firms from UK, independent firms, to make sure that things are done properly in Nigeria. This is how we want to ensure that we progress. And then the provision of security. That is one area that we are really working very hard. And I must tell you that we are succeeding. A lot have been achieved, and a lot will be achieved, and we will address the issue of security, to do with the issue of terrorism, the issue of crude oil theft, and every other criminal activities in the country. This is a challenge that exists in many parts of the world. We are getting our share of the normal terrorism that is happening all over, and I want to assure you that this issue is being addressed with the seriousness that it deserves. The last speaker mentioned the need for assistance. That is the Central Organization of Nigerians living in the UK. I want to inform you that the Diaspora Commission proposal, I think, is in the National Assembly, and they are treating it, and the Office of the Secretary to Government is working seriously to make sure that we get this thing passed. Also, as you know, I think I may be right to say our coordinating Minister of the Economy and Minister of Finance is also a diaspora person. Yes. So there is an opportunity that we are opening for people in diaspora that wants to invest. It is the diaspora bond of $100 million. So that with this bond, the diaspora people have opportunity to have a straightforward investment in the country so that your money will not go in parties. Put it in a bond. And for the diaspora in UK to be the 37 states, that would be a good thing. I think I will ask the High Commissioner to discuss with Her Majesty's government. To discuss with Her Majesty's government to see how we will have that area. And I agree with you, because 2 million people, the larger you are, the more you grow faster. So I think we deserve that. But one thing I would like to say is that our Minister for Trade and Investment, you know, did invite Mr. Jim O'Neill, the chairman of Goldman Sachs, the chairman of the Assets and Management. And those of you that are in the economic, financial world, you all know who Jim O'Neill is. He's the man that predicted the BRICS, the development of Brazil, Russia, India, China. And at that time, people said to him, this man must be crazy. And most people did not invest in that. It is a similar situation we are having today. If you don't hurry up and come and invest, the train will be far away from you. So thank you very much, and God bless you all.
So I want you to keep, let's get the record straight. What did you say? What's the situation about employment in Nigeria that is raising a lot of dust back home, that you're asking the government to cut down employment rate?
Well, you know, in general, we were speaking about a capital market and development. And my view is that we cannot have a thriving capital market, we cannot have long-term economic development until the government starts spending less money on itself and more on the real economy. Now, a situation in which 70% of government revenues goes to payment of public service workers. In some states in the north, everything they earn basically goes to payment of salaries. There is no way in that situation you're going to create the economic growth that you require, and the government cannot be the only employer. It cannot employ 167 million Nigerians. So we have a situation in which 1 million public servants at the local, state and government level take 70% of government revenue. And 30% is left for 166 million Nigerians, for health, for education, for roads, for power. It's simply not a sustainable model. And that's one. And then, so I spoke certainly about the need to reduce the size of public service. And I wasn't talking about necessarily civil servants. You also have political appointees. We have 774 local governments. Each local government has a chairman and 10 councillors. We have 36 states in Nigeria: governor, deputy governor, commissioners, special assistants, special advisors, state house of assembly with their officials. There's one state governor I know that, according to the newspapers, has over 400 special assistants. At the federal level, we have the president, the vice president, 500 federal legislators, 43 ministers. Now, these are constitutional issues, but even if they are, you review the Constitution. We have a clause in the Constitution that says you must have a minister from every state. But I mean, what does that mean? Do you decide the number of ministries at the federal level based on the number of states that you have? So do we really need 42 ministers? Do we need 36 ministries? These are questions that we need to ask. It's an American system for a rich country. I'm not aware of any African country that has that kind of political system. It is structured to be very expensive. And my view, and that is the view of every well-meaning or every trained economist, is that any system that continues to spend all its revenues on salaries can solve short-term problems for a small minority, but it creates longer-term problems for the rest of the country, and that was it.
I thought the civil rights group were taking you up on that, so they misunderstood you, and what's your reaction to it?
Well, the headline said that I advised the federal government to sack 50% of workers, but headlines are headlines, and I can't do anything with anyone taking what I say. And a central bank governor is not in a popularity contest. My job is to give a frank and honest opinion as to where I think the economy will go. Sometimes people will be happy, sometimes they will not. People will call for my sack, and it's fine, it's fair. But it doesn't change the reality. Sacking me, if you sack me, you appoint the next governor of the central bank. If he knows his job, he will say the same thing. And you can sack him, and the next governor will say the same thing. Until we face the reality that you cannot have development without gross fixed capital formation. And it's not just I didn't just talk about the workforce. Out of the 30% that we spend a lot of money on fuel subsidy, consuming, basically, future incomes. Okay, why should we subsidize consumption today instead of subsidizing production? So you spend on fuel subsidy, you've got the quality of government expenditure in general, the direction of government spending. We're not spending enough on education, we're not spending enough on health. Okay, we're spending money on some infrastructure like airports that, in my view, can be concessioned, and I made all those points. So if people chose to just pick on one aspect of a 1-hour speech and make it the issue, I can't do anything about it.
Thank you very much. Council.
Well, remember that this is the advisory council. The selection of what they can call global CEOs, the notable personalities, to advise Nigeria on best practices, be able to advise them on the perception of the country, what they need to do in order to make Nigeria competitive for investment. And I can tell you, they're doing so very passionately.
Your Excellency, what will be the impact of today's meeting on Anambra State?
Well, for me, every day, same thing. When you get constructive criticisms, it helps you to build a better place. Because you want to be competitive. It's a global village, and we want to do the best things in order to attract investments.
The council has been on for close to 10 years now. What areas of investment has Anambra State been able to get or achieve in the last 10 years?
No, I've not been there for 10 years, so I won't even tell you what is happening for 10 years. We've done quite a lot. It's something you need to come and see, the areas of improvement, and I'm sure those of them that are around know what we're doing.
We are talking about investment. What about the challenges back home that impact on some of these efforts?
These are some of the things the council is doing, telling you the truth of how people perceive you. They're like a mirror, telling you the truth. And once you can see yourself in the mirror, you can know where to shape up, clean up, and do everything. It's just like a woman going to the mirror in the morning to make up. They are the mirror to the country, and they're helping us to do that.
assist the Nigerian government with ideas, suggestions, and recommendations from the private sector. And this is part of the mechanism that we have developed for the achievement of the noble objective to transform Nigeria